What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in on this wonderful March 1st Friday of the month. So, yeah, guys, it's another month. It's another beautiful thing, and I'm very glad to be here. So, if you are tuning in for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in to this wonderful show. If you have been a constant supporter of the wonderful brand known as Art Meets Life, by all means, thank you so much. I see we got some people waving right there. How you doing, Miss Monica Haynes? Glad that you're tuning in. So, yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. So this is Art Meets Life, an event that we do every first Friday. As of the past year, we've been doing it Facebook Live and on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your host, LJ Bowens. I'm a spoken word artist, host, motivational speaker, workshop facilitator, and, the person that put this event together. So thank you guys so much for, keeping the course with us. It's been a crazy year leading up to this. Like, literally, if you think about it, around this time is when everything kind of went crazy here with everything as far as like the world per se. This ain't the exact date, but around this time last year was the last time we actually did Art Meets Life as a live event, because of course after that's when everything with the pandemic happened and they shut down everything as far as venues and everything going on. So yeah, guys, it's weird because it's like a 1-year anniversary of us not doing a live show, and like I don't know whether to celebrate that or I don't know, but but at the end of the day, we're still here and I'm thankful for it. So if you guys know what Art Meets Life, what we tend to do with the show, we have an open mic list where artists get on here, whether they are poets, singers, dancers, musicians, comedians, you name it, they come up and we let them perform. And then we also have a guest feature that comes on here, and with the guest feature, we get up here, we do a Q&A with them, kind of like inside the actor's studio. And then we let them rock out a 20-25 minute set. So I'm excited about our guest that's actually going to be featuring, because, we just had a good talk just a minute ago, catching up, because it's actually been a while since we actually seen each other in a physical sense. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm definitely glad that we're back here doing this thing. And all the people that's sending all the love, I appreciate y'all for being here, because y'all support makes everything go a long way. And I love y'all back. So we're going to keep this going. But real quick, just a few announcements to let y'all know what's getting ready to happen. Let's talk about Art Meets Life real quick. So Art Meets Life itself, we are praying because we're in North Carolina and we kind of just opened up a little bit. So we are praying and keeping our fingers crossed, and hopefully that we may be back doing live events. I'm praying because we're in talks right now. Just depends on everything. We're hoping at some capacity to bring this event back live in May, still going by the CDC guidelines, but we are trying our best to bring this event back in a live form in May. So keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully everybody follows the damn rules and wear a mask and do what they need to do, because I know y'all miss live events. I'm going to try my best to give y'all live events, because I know y'all love seeing Art Meets Life in its full form. So prayerfully, as long as everybody follows the guidelines and quit thinking they're above COVID, we will be back in some capacity doing a live Art Meets Life, hopefully in May. So that's the first announcement. Next week on Saturday, second Saturday of next week, we'll be doing our Art to Heart series, and scheduled to appear will be our friend Life, who is a spoken word artist, now motivational speaker, doing great things across the nation. So he's got a lot of great things going on, and we're definitely going to talk about that next week. So it's a lot going on, guys. I know y'all want to know what else we got in the pipeline. We're working on a lot of stuff. I would love to tell y'all what they are, but I can't tell y'all what they are right now, because, we're waiting on the ink to dry. But they will soon be here, and when they arrive, I will bring y'all all along with me, and we will enjoy all the shenanigans together as one big happy family. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this show started. Now, this is the second time we done a show like this. And what I mean by that is, for this particular show, we do not have an open mic. There's nothing bad about that. Don't feel sad about that. I actually appreciate sometimes we don't have an open mic, because it gives us more time to talk with our particular features when they're on this show. And with some people, they feel like, even in real life, a lot of people tell you, if you don't have people that's on your open mic, that means you don't got no show. I say BS to that, because you can make a show out of anything. I've done shows when I hosted where there's been tons of people and only 2 people on open mic and a feature, and we still rocked out. So I love that happens, because it just makes it more fun to rock out with our features. So your feature for the night, and we will get into the whole big introduction after we do the Q&A. And by all means, real quick, before I even go any further, if you guys are watching, please, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, share the link. Let your friends know what's going on. It's Art Meets Life, because we do this every first Friday. Tell your friends, and then enjoy the show, because like as you all know, when you put up comments, awesome comments, we share them on the screen, and then you guys have the power to ask questions to our feature as well, to get to know the feature and his journey, especially as a musician, because he's been doing a lot of work for years. I know that, and we'll try to get to some of that throughout the show. So I'm done talking. We're going to go ahead and bring up our feature, and then we're going to go ahead and set the stage, as you know, our virtual stage. Going by Captain Strawberry, the one and only, your feature for the night, Mr. Rya Fraser. Woo! Woo!
What's up?
What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to do the show. I'm very thankful that, I'm thankful, like I said, I shared it earlier, like just a minute ago. I'm thankful to still have this show going, even in the virtual form, because it's literally, this was the time last year we did our last live show of this before the pandemic. So thinking about it at hindsight, it's crazy thinking that, because you never know what happens on any given day, and then you're reminded like this happened. And then I'm thankful for Facebook even having the memories, because I was like, dang, that's crazy. The last Art Beats Life when we were live was this month, like March of last year, and then 2 weeks after, everything shut down. So, but
stir crazy, not doing.
You know what? That's a very good question. So a lot of people ask that. As an artist, myself, I almost did, because I had a lot of gigs get canceled. Like I lost about 13K in like gigs, whether it been performances, facilitating workshops, and speaking engagements. But the blessing came when some folks started doing stuff virtual, and then I was able to literally take the time as a way to build on what I already had, and it set up a lot of stuff for this year. I was able to still do a lot of work virtually last year, but I was able to set up things that's happening now at the beginning of 2021. So I'm not gonna sit here and say my year was a bad. I'm gonna sit here and say my 2020 was a bad year, because it wasn't. Yeah. Compared to others, money wise, yes, but it wasn't a bad year. I mean, I did some things. So how was your 2020 as an artist?
I spent most of the time just practicing my craft and writing and recording, and all my gigs that I had also got canceled, and I went a little crazy, because I've been on stage basically my whole life. It was just weird that it was gone,
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to make it as positive as I could, and just said, well, this is the first time I've had all the time I choose to have. I said all of that incorrectly. You know what I mean? all the time in the world to truly like practice with metronomes and different tunings and just all that stuff that always kind of got put aside. Like, I'll do that next week. I got to work on these set lists for the show or any number of things. So it was nice. I found a lot of positive in it, the unfortunate times.
Nice. So what we're going to do is, before we get into like the meat and gravy and the serious questions, we always do icebreakers. So I'm going to ask you a couple of icebreaker questions just to get the show flowing. And then after that, we'll get into some of the serious questions. And by all means, for all the audience members that's tuning in, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, feel free while we're having our talk to ask questions, put your questions in the comment box. And what we'll do is we'll take a little breaks real quick to bring those questions up, so that way your question gets heard, and we'll try to get to as many as we can, so that way we can let our feature do their set. So first icebreaker question for you, Rya, would be, if you had one plan to change the world, what would that plan be?
I have that plan. It's kind of a long story, but we've had this conversation with the tattoos on my hands mean and that political thing. Basically, that was a joke, LJ, by the way, the question I asked my
I know. I just still want to do it just to do it.
I was hoping it was gonna make you giggle. No, I just had an idea of like doing a song that has all the tofu and potatoes in it of racism is bad, allow everybody to have whatever belief system they want, be it atheism or Allah or what have you, take care of the planet, all that type of positive stuff in a song. And I always thought like beautiful songs like Change Is Gonna Come or Imagine or any of those type anything early Dylan. It was always beautiful and it affected everybody who heard it. But I started thinking about people who, for whatever reason, hated folk, so it was never let in, or didn't speak English, or any number of things. So I figured if you had that kind of song, and then you got, say, every like-minded group or artist in every genre of music around the world, and then every language in it, where literally everybody would have the opportunity to hear it, and then follow it by a free kind of a world tour where people could go and then they'd be getting all kinds of different music, culture, all in the same thing, all saying the same kind of vibe of, just get along. It's really not that difficult. So,
I love that answer. That was a very, very extensive and very beautiful answer to that question. Next icebreaker question. Which is one of the ones we always ask because it's just fun. What is your favorite word and why?
Oh geez. Probably pyramid. Because just hearing the word makes me think about what I was already thinking about, because the only thing more important to me is megalithic ancient structures, pyramids, and all that from around the world. And for whatever reason, anytime I see a 90-degree angle or somebody brings it up or something, I get filled with my own like conspiratorial madness of pyramids, why they're there, who did it, and why, and all that stuff. And it always sends me down a rabbit hole on YouTube, and it turns into a fun night anytime I focus on that, as opposed to
Definitely. Which then brings up the other side of the coin. What would be your least favorite word and why?
Well, this kind of goes with the first question or answer to the first question. I can't talk today.
Come on, man.
I haven't hung out in a virtual reality in such a long time. It's interesting.
I've been getting used to it for a year, trust me. So this has been my kind of home for this.
I'd say you said least favorite word?
Yep, least favorite word.
I'd say I can't pinpoint a single one, but any and every type of negative word aimed at another person, be it a racial slur, something about their weight, their hair, their sexuality, their intelligence level. I feel they're all similar, the same type of word, you know what I mean? And it does nothing but push humanity 2 steps back.
I like that. I like that tremendously. This is going to be a great question for you because I personally know you, and from the story, I know like a lot of people we're going to get into like the levels of Rya, especially as it comes to an artist and a musician, because people here in Fayetteville know you just being a guitarist, but I know the full extent of Rya when it comes to music. But here's a crazy question: what profession other than one you have your own as a musician? What other profession other than your own would you like to attempt, and why? If you could.
That's easy. I was going to be an astronomer or a physicist, and that goes with the whole thing with the pyramids for whatever reason. But mathematics, the sky, you've seen all my tattoos. They're all aliens, pyramids, and star constellations. And as I said earlier, that's an equal piece of me is music. So I'd be an archaeologist or an astronomer, physicist, something in that sort of realm to just try to figure out the unknowns as best as I could attempt to,
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's why I said that question is going to be a fun one to ask you. Because like I said, like knowing our talks from time to time, it's always been good ones. Like that, like just even doing the show now is like, it's put me back in that mindset. Like when we were out having a beer or something, or at the stop button doing something. So last question as an icebreaker. And I'm thankful that you brought I'm thankful that you said what you said as far as like a song, and it goes to the first question. As far as like all races, all religions, or whatever, and what everybody believes in. So it builds up this question. If you believe that there is something past us, like past us being here living, like whether that be religion as to who you believe in, if you believe in any type of higher power, or if you just believe that there's something from beyond what we're doing now, what would you like that spirit, that energy, or if it's nothing, just nothing, but what would you like to hear be said to you once your time on the mortal plane has ended?
Well, I do believe in something past this, 100%. I would say you did enough.
Love it. Yeah. I love it. So real quick before we get to our questions, one of our good friends, DB, screams your name virtually. Speaking of which, shout out to Brian. I gotta get him on this show or the other show eventually, because that's probably one of the other hardest working artists we know in the city that I feel don't get their just due at times. So
with Deshaun ever.
Yeah, go ahead. Say again.
I've been running with Deshaun forever. Like, he's appeared in music videos of mine. I performed at Horrible Folks shows that they did down on Hay Street, and I've known him forever.
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's get to it. Rya Fraser. Oh, I got you, DB. Rya Fraser, tell us. This is always gonna be an interesting question because everybody knows you're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. But first question: is this originally where you're from? And if you're not originally from here, where did it all begin for you?
I was born in Alabama, and I grew up in the desert in West Texas.
Really? I don't think I knew that. I think I knew about Alabama, but I didn't know about the Texas part.
Yeah, I was born there and I died there too. That's a whole other conversation, though.
Oh yeah, it'd be actually even funny because we will actually talk about that. Because if you want to, we ain't got to tackle it unless. But I feel like people need to know know a certain part of you. Why I always look at you as one of the people I need to talk to that inspires me. So, being the fact that you said you were born in Alabama and then you said you basically lived in Texas, what was it that got you here?
Well, my father used to run I don't remember the title. He's high up running something to do in the VA medical hospital, and transferred here when I was still like a junior in high school, I want to say.
Okay, got you.
Like
so, 2003. Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said I moved here in like 2003, and everything before that was the desert. Nothing but snakes and sand and me.
Really? So that's funny. I thought you was here longer than me. I actually got here in 2001, but I wasn't in the artist scene back then. I was just still in the military, just doing military things with military people. So, what being the person that you are, because you're a great writer, you are a great musician. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there now. He is a multi-instrumentalist. Like, the man can play a million damn instruments. What was it that got you before you go more so to the music, what was it that got you involved with the art?
Of just music in general?
Just art in general. Because I know you write too, so and do a lot more.
I don't know, because it was going on before I can remember. You know, I have audio like cassette tapes from the '80s of me like playing with spoons and singing horrible songs about toys and stuff. Like I've been doing it forever. I think what got me into actual playing instruments. I mean, my dad. Most of the people in my family are musicians. And I can remember my dad getting me into like the Beatles and the Temptations and like soul, shag music and Beach Boys and all that stuff when I was really young, and got a drum set when I was maybe 8, and I was touring around Texas playing drums in like blues rock bands when I was 11. So it all just sort of I've been doing it forever, you know.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong. By all means, I don't want you to feel like you're cutting the conversation short because this is your time. I mean, I just hearing you say that, like the fact that you say you was playing with spoons and talking about making horrible songs about toys to progression. So you just basically been around the music and everything. I love it. I feel like you're about to bring up something.
Man.
Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I keep these in my guitar case just for a rainy day or to keep me humble, or you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like as long as I've known you, I've never seen that picture.
It's been in my guitar case for years.
I need to pay better attention to that. So with growing up around the music and everything, like being around, like you said, you have a family that's full of musicians. I guess the next question would be, at some point, whether it could have been school, it could have been outside of school, but at some point, when did you feel like, aside from playing, because when you have sometimes musical families, there's some people that know when they want to do something with it, as to others that just maybe do it as a hobby. So at what point do you feel like you had that moment when you was like, you know what, I feel like this is where I want to try to steer my life to go and be with being a musician or being an artist? Like, at what point you think that may have happened? And sometimes it could have been more than one point. So
first grade, for sure, because I took that guitar you just saw, a tiny one. I took it to show and tell in the first grade, and I played Louie Louie for the class. And I remember all the kids clapping and the teacher like, how do you even know that song exists? You're not from then, and that whole thing. And I just enjoyed it. And then I did I played a lion in some sort of a play. And it's like, yeah, the stage, this is what I'm going to do. And I've known it since then, you know. I don't know how old you are in the first grade, but whatever that age is.
For most people, it's they're probably the right age. Other folks, it's things happen. So we got one question from one of our watchers who says, who were your inspirations?
Oh my God, everybody get popcorn. We're going to be here till tomorrow morning.
So, okay, then, if that's the case, can you name a good few?
Okay, let's see. Wow. Beatles, Bob Dylan, Bob Marley. I got a weird connection to Bob Marley and Notorious B.I.G. Tommy James and the Shondells, Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, Robert Johnson, Weird Al Yankovic, huge influence. Phenomenal musician. He doesn't get enough credit. Rage Against the Machine, Peter Tosh, I mean, there's so many. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. My favorite guitar player of all time is Roy Buchanan. Then Danny Gatton, Scotty Anderson, Lonnie Mack, Beethoven, Bach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I know it's a lot. That's why I was like,
I like more classically arranged music than anything else. That's a fun fact that most people don't know about me. I always sandwich in one or two of the recordings of like classically arranged music into every one of my albums, and people are like, "What's that strange interlude? Who did that?" I'm like, I did.
And that's
the orchestra to Louis.
And that is a good segue to the next question I'm about to ask you. And then I'm going to get to another question that somebody asked as well. That's going to lead to it. So, I think you said you had started off, I believe, with the guitar. I believe with the guitar. I want to say correct, or was another instrument you started off with first?
It was drums.
Drums. So okay, so you start off with drums, and then this is the fun part. This is fun for me because this is when I kind of found out everything. And now I know I'm jumping ahead, but I'm gonna kind of get back on track. But when I first met you, along with a lot of people here, and people that's probably seeing you holding the guitar now, and then showing a picture that's probably just tuned in. The first instrument you said you started playing was drums. So let's fast forward to now. And I remember coming to your house because we were going to start working on a project that we actually need to start do something eventually. But
we did the PTSD.
Yeah, we did the PTSD. Y'all can look that up on YouTube. I'll share the video. I'll give y'all the link for it. But what I didn't know was you had a whole setup of a lot of instruments. So going from the fact of you starting with drums to now, I don't even know if you can name all of them, but how many instruments would you say you know how to play? And out of those instruments, what would be your favorites? Which led to this question. That's why I wanted to put it up here. My friend Aaron wanted to ask, what was your favorite non-traditional instrument to play? And then we kind of get into the other stuff with the question.
Non-traditional, like not normal in a typical kind of band, I assume. Probably the didgeridoo.
Nice.
For that question.
So could real quick, because I don't know if anybody knows that, could you explain what that is?
It's like a 6-7 foot long tube of wood, and you vibrate your lips inside of it, and it makes the typical sound you hear in any movie that takes place in Australia. I have one. I don't think it's in here. I have a rain stick in here. One of the didgeridoos is downstairs. Anyway, it's just a fun thing. It makes you really lightheaded. I don't do it often, but it's definitely fun. As far as other instruments, I play guitar, I play drums, I play bass, I play piano, harmonica, banjo, mandolin, violin, viola, cello, all the percussion instruments, basically. Sitar, the Chinese pipa, ukulele, so many.
I'm laughing. I'm only laughing because I'm seeing you name it, and then I'm seeing you looking around the room like trying to.
I'll put it like this: pretty much all of them, other than most of the brass instruments. For whatever reason, I have trouble with trumpets. I have a trumpet; it doesn't like me. Trombones, tubas, I can get 2 or 3 notes out of them, but I can't actually play them well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So pretty much all the instruments I've tangled with, other than the brass.
Nice. So that's a lot. That's a lot of instruments. So you get to Fayetteville after all these instruments, learn all these instruments, and then of course you had to get started here at some point with the scene here in order to do like a lot of other things. So what was the first? This is gonna be a 2-part question. So what was the first place you stumbled onto as far as like open mic or music scene in Fayetteville, and then what from there? What was your first gig that ended up leading to your first gig?
This is actually a fun story. I I'd gone to the coffee scene a number of times, but that was more acoustic and doing more poetry. So I'm going to focus more on like the loud electric stuff that I'm more known for. It would be Louis, and me and the band members at the time had been playing in my garage for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. And we were drinking. We were all like 20, 21 years old. We were all just drinking and chain smoking cigarettes and that whole thing, and not practicing as much as we should. But we had a young, youthful kind of an energy. And we showed up at Louis for the open mic that was run at the time by Mr. P, Poncho.
God rest his soul. I love that. I miss that man.
Oh, yeah. Family. I miss him. I actually just recorded a song called Mr. P that I'm putting on the next record.
Nice.
Anyway, we were too loud, but we did Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf, and I think Foxy Lady, and then an original song of mine about UFOs. And nobody in there knew our name. They'd never seen us before. I think I was only 20 at the time. I had the big stamps on my hands to even get in. And people bought us beer, and they were like handing it, and pushing it towards the stage like these young kids. We were probably the only people in there under, however old Poncho and them were at that point in time. This was in 2007. And some dude walked up to us while, like, literally 3 minutes after we were done playing and said, I own this bar on Rayford Road, the same place that's now Patty's. Used to be, I think it was called Bourbon Street, if I remember right. But he owned that place and said, hey, I'll pay you $400. Play at my place tomorrow night. So literally 24 hours after our first appearance, we were booked. And wow. Spiraled, because we showed up all wearing matching black suits, and we'd bow like the Beatles, and we'd do Beatles songs. We were playing at the Outer Banks maybe a month later, and doing little tours, and we did the Goodstock Festival late that summer with people from like Jefferson Airplane and Sky Saxon and the Seeds, and it was crazy. It hit real fast. But yeah, that's how that happened.
Wow. So somebody posed a good question. I think I know what he means. So I'll try to, I think you might know what it means, but if not, I'll try to, I guess, translate. So the question was your opinion on electronic music versus real music, instrument music. So I'm guessing he's saying like, and I want to say analog versus digital, like when you record in the studio using live instrumentation as to when people are using the.
Yeah, I know exactly what he means. Yeah. Personally, I have no problem with it. However, and I think it should be respected, but it opens up another sort of wormhole of thought, because there is a big difference between, say, here, I'll give you an example. I've got a AAP piano in front of me. It's electronic, so just one finger. Wait, that's incorrect. I hit the wrong button. Of course. And I turn it off. What I'm getting to is there's a big difference between hitting something and it creates the sound of 30 people by using one finger, and then using like something that's sampled or like a pad in a recording studio where you're still physically playing a piano to get the sound of a snare drum out of it. Like, it still takes musical training to do that, even if it's not a real violin or a real cello or what have you. So once you break that kind of wall down, most people who don't have any experience with instruments, who are making beats or any number of stuff in that way, learn musical ability having to perform it in some way. And that goes all the way back to now it's considered, DJing is now considered an art because of the turntables. Because you actually need real rhythm to perform it. And you get what I'm saying. I'm kind of going in a circle, but I like electronic music. It's no different than music with instruments. Either I like a particular song or I don't. But I have no negative feelings towards any of them.
Thank you. Good answer. Thanks for that question, Spirit Wolf. That was a very good question.
Yeah.
So you had named a lot of things that you've done as far as your musical career, especially the fact of blowing up and getting paid $400 the next night. I mean, that's awesome. So, music career wise, what do you feel has been your greatest achievement thus far with your work? And I say thus far because I know you got a lot more coming.
By achievement, you mean like something I personally did, or something that happened at a show, or what do you mean?
Well, you know what? I always tell the artist to take it upon themselves how they want to answer, because some people will look at it maybe like an accolade. You may take it as something personal that happened. Like an accolade would be like you received an award. A personal thing, you'd be like somebody came to you and it said the song changed their life or something that meant so much to you. So take it in whatever context you want to take it as.
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Well, out being in Los Angeles when I lived out there, and meeting and playing with a lot of people that I idolized and who ended up liking my music. That was a hell of a weird thing. Like meeting members of the Doors and playing with the drummer for the YouTube video thing, and then just like how having Robbie Krieger from the Doors, and like, how exactly are you doing that weird technique? And I'm like, did you really just ask me that? Like, here, let me show you, Robbie Krieger of the Doors. It's like, I've been listening to you since before I can remember. That whole thing. Huge Doors fan. Little things like that, or wait, I have a better one. Neil Young called me once because I had a political song called Rise Up that went to #1 on his website, livingwithwar.com, and he really liked it. And he's just like, keep up the good work. And I was like, hey, give me a record deal. He's like, keep up the good work. I'm like, all right. But still, it's a good thing.
I'm sorry. That's like, yeah, well, my record deal is keep up the good work. So, 2 questions real quick. One coming from Aaron once again. Question is, favorite song of all time, if you can choose one. I mean, we understand it may be a lot, but
no, it's not. I can't pick between 2 songs, so they have to both be it. One, and they both have a reason behind it. One is Real Love by John Lennon / the Beatles, because he wrote that song and wrote on the tape of it for Paul. The Beatles were estranged after they broke up and that whole thing. And then he unfortunately got murdered in 1980. And then Yoko gave the surviving 3 Beatles that tape. And then in 95, they went into the studio and they finished it. And that and 2 other songs, Free as a Bird and Now and Then. And they released it as the first Beatles song in, 25 years or so. And the song itself is just gorgeous. And that it kind of went, it brought the Beatles back together and sort of, for a lot of people, myself included, healed kind of wounds of his life being, taken from him, at the age of 40, and nobody, knowing at that moment, like, there's never going to be the Beatles getting back together. It's impossible now. And then that little thing of them being able to release a couple of new Beatles songs was, just beautiful. So that, and then a song by Finley Quaye called Even After All, because after I came out of the coma in the hospital, my iPod was broken. I know that's very leaving a lot of information out, but my iPod was broken, and that was the only song I could get to play. I couldn't get the screen to back up. So I spent over a month listening to just that song. There was no TV in my room at the hospital, and just fell in love with it and got up with him. He's a kind of a reggae folk artist from the UK, and told him the whole story of it. And, he shouted me out, and it was awesome, as did the Red Hot Chili Peppers for that same incident. But
it's dope. It's like I want to kind of go into that, but I don't want to kind of go into the whole situation, even though it kind of like you opened the door for it. because I know that's like a personal story.
I don't care.
I know you don't, but
You want to? I don't mind one way or the other.
All right. So, all right. So with the fact, like you said, that's that second song when you says you getting out of a coma, and I think it proves testament as to even after what happened, you still been able to do great things and make great music. So if it's okay, can you like kind of share the story as of what happened? Because there may be people listening that could take this as inspiration and go for it, especially being somebody that's a survivor and still being able to make great music and change lives.
Yeah, sure. Well, this is a quick preface. I've died or almost died many times. I have bizarre luck. I think that's why I'm an artist, because what else would I write about at this point? Find the happy side. So anyway, that the thing that he and I were just talking about was in 2011. I was on the way to Texas to play some shows and help a friend of mine build a half pipe at a skate park, and was driving from here to Midland, Texas, and in Montgomery, Alabama, drunk driver fell asleep behind the wheel, rear-ended me going over 100. All of my instruments were in the car behind me in the back seat. My amp broke my back, collapsed my lungs. My guitar, the one right there, my special friend, hit me in the head, it's called a massive subdural hematoma where my brain was bleeding. Died for over 4 minutes, got airlifted. They did an emergency craniotomy and cut off a big piece of my skull, let all the blood come out, and I miraculously survived. And aside from a dent in my head and scars from the chest tubes, once I regained my memory a couple of months later, it's like it didn't happen. So,
yeah, and that's it's one of those things where it's like, one, I'm thankful you're still here, because I would never met you. But then two, just the fact of coming from that and being able to get back to playing and being able to still play, because you never know what could happen in that situation. Like you said, it could have been it, but then even the fact that you still are alive, you wouldn't have known if or not you could have played. But you said it's like it never happened. You just got back and started playing with it. So I think that's like always a testament to a great energy that meant to keep you here because you have purpose here. For me, that's how I look at it.
Was worried. He thought that I'd lost it when they saw me in the hospital bed, and he brought one of my guitars and sat it, and he tells me that I was like looking at it, like, what is this? And he was just worried, like, oh my God, it's gone. And luckily for me, when I got transferred from Alabama to Wake Med outside of Raleigh, there was a couple of nurses that wanted to try something, and they took me in an ambulance to the Guitar Center in Raleigh, and I was sitting there, and somebody handed me a guitar, and I went, and then it was like, have you ever seen that movie, the Butterfly Effect?
Yes.
When like he goes and changes the past, and he gets all those extra memories, and it like gives him almost like, it was similar to that. Like I saw like flashes, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I remember everything. And I could instantly play the guitar again. I was sitting there in the gown in a wheelchair at Guitar Center, like, oh yeah. And just hit, like, literally in a split second. It was crazy. And they were just like, yay.
Oh God, man. That's awesome. I got two more questions for you, and then we're gonna let you rock out for us, because I'm excited to hear you play. You kind of know as an artist what you want to do, but you never know where it's going to go. So this question is kind of like, it will almost sound like it's cliche, but some people, when they feel it in their gut and know that's what they're meant to do, it's there. So when you first started playing music, did you ever see yourself going this far in your career?
Yeah. It was, I thought I'd be farther than I am at this point. Not like downplaying, anything I've done, but I just typical kid playing the guitar, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the next Beatles or the next this or that, And I've never, like, even since I was a kid, it's just always been what I do, what I want to do. And you know me, like when I used to like hitchhike across the country and stuff, and I'd have just this guitar named Hitch for that reason. And it's like, yeah, if I starved to death playing the guitar, I went out doing what I loved, and that's the same thing now. Like, if it doesn't go any farther than it already is, I'm perfectly happy just playing in small, dive bars for the rest of my life. If it gets higher, cool. It's what I do. It's who I am.
Last question for me. Oh man, this was good. What is what the people can expect from Rya Fraser when they first meet him?
Horrible jokes. You're laughing because you know it's true.
I know. I know all too well. But that's what makes the horrible jokes so good, because once they get the horrible jokes, they're just gonna be looking at you, but then it's like, you know what? The jokes are so bad, I gotta be cool with them. I love them so much. So
like it's bizarre how witty I am with bad like puns and jokes and like kind of, I don't know. I wish I could have been a comedian if there was a market for just observational bad humor.
So an example of this, guys, would be because this is recent. So we were talking about getting him to feature for this month. I was giving him the layout, and I asked him, did he want to feature? And he said, yeah. And then he said, just let me know the details. And I said, bet. And I believe he was like, oh, I don't have that much money on me. I'm not a betting man. I was like, I'm looking at the person like, what is he talking about?
I'd rather not gamble.
Yeah, I was like, what is it? So, man, this is gonna be good. So, without further ado, guys, giving you guys some beautiful music. I met this man many, many, many years ago, and I've been honored, and I'm not lying about this. I've been honored to know this man as a good friend. I've been honored to do many great projects and performances alongside him. A good story that I love to share about Rya is there has been a couple of times when Rya has supported something we did in the poetry community and not even asked for a dime to help. He's helped us with setting up sound for I believe it was Art Meets Life one time, and I know for a fact we did a festival at the Cape Fear Botanical Gardens known as the Homegrown Festival, which I wish they would have kept going, but for some reason they didn't. But he helped out with
my folder of songs fell in the water fountain.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. But he has always been a great asset to the art community, not only here in Fayetteville but the world. And the man is such a beautiful spirit. Makes great music. Like I said, I've been honored to be alongside him and done great events with him. And for me, it's a treat to hear this man play, because it has been a long time to hear him in his element, and I've missed that so much. So as much as it's going to be a treat for you, the viewing audience, this is going to be a great treat for me to see a great friend rock out and do some great work. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, your feature for this month's Art Meets Life, singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist, the one, the only, Rya Fraser. Put your hands together, y'all. Put your hands together.
I put my hands together. All right, here's a song of mine called Her Pretty Eyes Took Me Down, off of maybe 2 albums ago, When All That's Left Is Blue. turning the page all day, trying to find something real to say. Call it blues, call it truth. Just take what you want, honey. Just loosen my noose. The pretty eyes took me down. The pretty eyes took me down. The pretty eyes took me down. Wake in the morning, fix me a drink, make love to your memory, and try not to think. Blood in a bottle, pain in my heart, nothing to lose, sugar, nothing to start. Pretty eyes took me down. Pretty eyes took me down. Pretty eyes took me down. So throw my ring down in the hole. I won't give you my children, won't give you my home. I won't be defeated, won't tell no lies, won't hand you forgiveness till you let this die. Your pretty eyes took me down. My hands, oh, they shake when I hear your name. To run from love was torture, still I mustn't complain. All the witches on the road tell me my future, see me growing old, but they don't know. The pretty eyes took me down. The pretty eyes took me down. The pretty eyes took me down. Am I supposed to keep do another song, or are you about to come back? I don't know what's happening.
No, you're good. This is your set, sir. Keep doing your set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, here's a blues song I wrote off of the record When All That's Left Is Blue. This one's called Feel Your Love. She's the one I write the songs for. She is the reason I buy changing these strings. The art that flows from my fingertips. The air in my lungs as I sing. Hold the guitar like I'm holding her hand. And say the words I hope she understands. I feel her love all around me. Baby, please just stay with your man a while. I feel her love all around me. Baby, please just stay with your man a while. Stay with your man a while. Yes, I love my sweet little lady. She don't bother, no, she don't let me down. And when my thoughts toss those eyes around, she is there to help me off the ground. Hold the guitar like I'm holding her hand. And say the words I hope she understands. I feel her love all around me. Baby, please just stay with your man a while. I feel her love all around me. Baby, please just stay with your man a while. Stay with your man a while. I don't know if I've ever played that song on acoustic guitar before. Or in the key of G. Alright, here's another original tune off of the album. It's called Sapphire Sunrise, I believe. It's a triple album. This is on the second disc. And this is called Anywhere Somewhere. I wrote this song while during the hitchhiking days that LJ and I were talking about a moment ago. I wrote this Really, really dehydrated and foaming on the side of the road in Texas. It's a true story.
Back on the train, mama, there's something to smile about. I gotta find me a new town where I don't need to black out just to get by. I'm tired of taking sips just to feel a little high. I wanna be anywhere but here, but the road never leads me anywhere. Now I'm on the track, and I'm down to the 9 to 5. My thumbs up in the air, and I'm feeling too dead to die. So I just sit, cause I'm lost, I'm worthless, I'm shit. I wanna be anywhere but here, but the road never leads me anywhere. Now I'm on the 20, Sancho Points to Abilene. Got the red dirt in my teeth and no water left to drink, but I'll be alright if I can make it to Warren before tonight. I wanna be anywhere but here, but the road never leads me anywhere. The morning feels wide open, caught a ride with a senorita. From South Sierra Vista, Coronado, and Catalina. I know this, I haven't smiled sincere since Memphis. I wanna be anywhere but here, but the road never leads me anywhere. I gotta find my peace of mind. Gotta find that reason to live. Gotta find that shining light that's inside of me. No longer lost, no longer worthless, finally free. I wanna be anywhere but here, but this road's gonna lead me somewhere. I wanna be anywhere but here, and this road's gonna lead me somewhere. I wanna be anywhere but here, and this road's gonna lead me somewhere.
All right. All right, how about another hitchhiking song? This is called No One Seems to Listen. Another song I wrote while backpacking. And it's a long road, it's traveled alone. Somehow miles stretch when you've forgotten home.
the city where lights keep it bright all night. The horizon runs and stays just out of sight. Behind the high rise you won't lay your head at tonight. I remember friends long ago, the laughs and the high times, they all let me know that times like these can't last forever. Oh, how I miss the way that sweet girl would hold out her kiss. The last one came the night before I left, and I may be wrong, but I've been hurting for so long. So maybe I'd be better off singing this is my last song. 'Cause no one seems to listen until you're gone. No one seems to listen. No one seems to listen until you're gone. I may be wrong, but I've been hurting for so long. So maybe I'd be better off singing this is my last song. 'Cause no one seems to listen until you're gone. No one seems to listen. No one seems to listen till you're gone. Yeah, no one seems to listen. No one seems to listen till you're gone. Neither half is there. My glass is empty, and I can't afford to care. Neither half is there. My glass is empty, and I can't afford to care. Yes, my love, we reached the point of no return. Communication fell apart. We did this cold front start. I made mistakes with us. Yeah, you made a few too. And though I had too much pride to apologize, I hope you never thought that I didn't love you. I'm weak now all the time. I can't eat or sleep or sit still. And tears have dried my eyes blue so tired. All I've got is wondering where you are tonight. All I've got is wondering where you are tonight. Everything I see brings back a memory. Still my bathroom smells of your perfume. 'Cause your last kiss tasted of anger. The flowers I built melted in the sun. If I had the chance, I'd do it all again. All I've got is wondering where you are tonight. All I've got is wondering where you are tonight. 'Cause neither half is there. My glass is empty and I can't afford to care. Neither half is there. My glass is empty and I can't afford to care. Neither half is there. My glass is empty, and I can't afford to care.
It's weird. It's weird because like I was literally clapping through all of it. It's like I felt bad because it's like for a musician to be out here, it's like you're not hearing the claps after you're done playing. It's like, okay, I know people probably enjoyed it, but I can't hear no clapping. So
Well, I'm really used to that.
no, that is man, Jesus. See, this is the reason why we need to go ahead and open back up these videos. Like, so I'm gonna share. I shared it already, but I'm gonna share it again because Aaron is a great supporter of a lot of the events that are going on here, and I'm hoping I can make this happen because I know we were talking offline before the show started about you looking to move soon, but she had posted this up, so I have to make that happen somehow, some way. Looking forward to things over the back up so they can see you in person. Because like hearing you play, like hearing you play was so much joy for me right now. Like I feel like a kid at a candy store. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. And yeah, like the good thing is I have this recorded, so I can look back at the replay.
Well, come over anytime, man.
Oh yeah, I know. I need to because the funny thing is not like you live far from me. That's the thing. You take like 10 minutes from my house, so I need to definitely make that happen. I've also been posting up, but real quick, if anybody wants to follow your music, if anybody wants to follow you on any of your social medias, where can they find you at?
I can everywhere. You can just type in, ryafraser.com. Oh, it just popped up.
Ha! See, I got you covered.
Yeah, my Bandcamp that's got a bunch of my records on it, and it's Bandcamp Friday. So if anybody happens to get a record, I actually get to keep all of the money. It only happens on Friday. I send it through there, and a bunch of the songs that I just did are on the Sapphire record, and When All That's Left Is Blue. And the last song I did, part of it is unreleased. The thing about the glass half full sort of words thing.
I love that song.
Thank you.
I love that. Like
I was in a hell of a mood when I was thinking about is the glass half empty or half full? I'm like, yeah, neither half is there. My glass is empty. I can't afford to care. It's like, come on, man.
Definitely. Real quick, guys. Yes, by all means, if you want to follow Rya Fraser, he definitely check his IG out at Rya Fraser on Instagram. Definitely go to his website. RyaFraser.com. And also, like you mentioned, his Bandcamp. So, buy a CD. That way he gets the money. But another way you can also support this wonderful artist is, as you know, with this great show, we do our best to support our artists up here. And you're basically tuned into a free event. The best we can do is support this artist. So if you want to know how you can support this artist by tipping the artist or just giving them a love donation, you can give them $1, you can give them $5, you can give them $20. I want to see somebody match my number. I'm not going to tell you what my number is, but you can definitely go to Cash App and you can Cash App him at $ Rya James Fraser Music. Definitely support the artist because, like I said, he rocked out. It was a great show, and we definitely love the artist. So
I'm sorry I keep coughing.
You're fine. You're perfectly fine. The weather is North Carolina. The weather's been constantly changing. It'll be 40 degrees one day and then 72 the next. So we got a couple more days left before it gets back up to 60 and 70 because I already saw the weather report. So it's coming. I'm
going to be singing, and I stupidly didn't bring any green tea or water or anything up here. That's why between every song, I was like,
but the good thing is you had the musical riffs going, so that way you can like kind of keep it in before you had to get back to singing. So,
oh yeah, I'm glad it went semi all right. This was super awkward for me because I play electric guitar, so everything I was playing on here was fighting me.
Oh yeah,
cowboy chords, playing lead and all the other stuff I was doing on an acoustic guitar. I'm not used to it.
But I think you did awesome. It wasn't okay. I think you did great. But as I said, all the more reason why when everything gets back open, we're gonna definitely make sure, at least on my end, I'm gonna make sure I put you in front of some people. So I got you covered on that. Audience, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this month's Art Meets Life. As I told you guys, next week, next Saturday is our Art to Heart show where we just do a whole 1 hour interview with our artist, which is going to be live coming all the way from Jacksonville, North Carolina. But if you guys enjoyed tonight, definitely put some fire emojis in the comments. If you guys just tuned in and missed the show but would like to replay it, go you can watch the replay on Facebook and YouTube artist page LJ Bowens. Once this video ends, the replays will be up immediately. So definitely go and check these videos out. This video out along with all of the Art Meets Life we've been filming, and along with some other content we have on there as well. And we got some more great content coming soon. We'll tell you, but I can't. So other than that, we also have our wonderful feature that just rocked out, Rya Fraser. Please follow him on IG at Rya_Fraser and go to his website, RyaFraser.com. And you can also go listen to more music of his music at RyaJamesFraser.bandcamp.com. And last but not least, please support this artist because what the pandemic did to us artists. You guys can keep supporting us while we try to get back to do a lot of shows. Cash App him at $ Rya James Fraser Music. Rya, thank you so much for rocking out your set. We definitely appreciate you here. And any last words you want to give the audience before we close out the show?
Let the last year be a lesson to us all to never take for granted being able to see those you love, even your enemies, and quit having so many enemies.
That's one of the best answers I've heard. I love that. Thank you so much, Rya, aka Captain Strawberry. My name is LJ Bowens. This has been this month's edition of Art Meets Life. We can't wait to see you next month for next month's Art Meets Life. And we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll throw y'all a poet. Maybe we'll throw y'all a comedian. Maybe we'll throw y'all a featured dancer. Who knows? That's what I love about this show because it's always what we make it. And it's always who I decide we should have on the show. So love you guys so much. Peace. And always remember purpose over popularity. Take care, guys. And be love. Peace.